there, y'all. It's your girl, Sean LeRae, and I am back once again with Boss Talk. You know that's bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars, and that's you. So, as always, I'm excited to be here. It's Wednesday night. That's hump day. We are almost there, y'all. It won't be long, and we'll be back at the weekend. And if you're in California, you know that our weekends have been rainy. Our everyday has been rainy, actually, for the last several weeks. And I know that we need it. I know that. I know that very well. However, I don't like it. I don't like it for several reasons. No shade, Californians, but y'all don't know how to drive in bad weather. Just saying. Very dangerous, out of control. But also, it's just messy. And so if I could be in the house with the remote, then I'm so happy to let it rain, let it rain, let it pour. But when I have to go out in it, I don't like it so much. But what can I say? God says it needs to rain, and truly we need it in California, like I said. It's a little also kind of bad though, because a lot of people have problems with mudslides, and we have a lot of flooding and that sort of thing. In fact, the last big rain, um, so interestingly enough, it leaked from the bottom up in my dining area. And I don't understand that, but my wooden floors were leaking upward. So water was kind of squirting out of the floor. It was a little bit scary. It has stopped, but I'm a little bit nervous about, what lurks underneath all of that. So, wish me luck on that, y'all. So it is March 1st today. That's pretty awesome. And we are starting a brand new month. And it's an opportunity, if you haven't done all the things that you thought you would do and that you wanted to do in January and in February, it's time for a do-over. March is a brand new month. It's the beginning of we're leading up to spring, and so you get to make all those changes. So y'all know that I did not do a resolution this year, a New Year's resolution. I made intentions for myself. And one of the biggest intentions that I made for myself was to eat better, to make better choices when it comes to my food intake. I don't eat a lot of food, but I don't always eat the right foods. I eat things that I love, and most of what I love is loaded with sugar. Yes, loaded with sugar. And I know that's bad. I know that it's poison. I know all those things that you all out there, you health nuts, are saying about me right now with my sugar cravings. So I need to figure out maybe doing a cleanse or something to get that stuff out of my system so that I can successfully begin some changes around that area. So I will start off really great at the beginning of the week, and then by the end of the week, I'm kind of like over in Sugarland again. So the good news is that tonight I have an amazing guest coming on who is just knows all things nutrition, health, and wellness. And she's been doing this for a really long time. And it's awesome because she'll be able to talk to us about some of those cravings that we have, how to get rid of them, some of those bad habits that we have, maybe how to replace those bad habits. Because, as a mental health professional, I know that it's hard to just take away a habit that you've had for a really long time without replacing it with something to put in its place, right? So we're going to talk about all of those things tonight. So I want you to take this moment right here, right now, and I want you to get your phone and I want you to send the link out. I want you to send it out to your friends, send it out to your healthy friends, send it to your not so healthy friends, even send it to those friends who think they are healthy, but you know better, but you just won't say it to them. Send them the link to this so that they can tune in and get some good news for to start off their March, because spring is here, and before we know it, it will be summer, and we will want those summer bodies for those cute sundresses and shorts and all those things that we like. But tonight we're going to talk about other than the aesthetic value to nutrition and health. So sit back and relax, Boss Talkers, because I am going to be bringing my guest to the stage in just a moment. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about her. So her name is Ginger Carter. And Ginger is a nutritionist. She's in private practice in Tucson, Arizona, and she specializes in autoimmune diseases, primarily cancer. She received her degree in holistic nutrition from the University of Kentucky. She travels nationally and speaks for many health organizations, the American Heart Association, American Cancer Society, American Diabetes Association, as well as lecturing in schools, hospitals, and many other health-oriented groups. Having been obese and the survivor of 3 autoimmune illnesses, chronic fatigue, Epstein-Barr, and breast cancer, and having heart disease run in her family, has given Ginger tremendous insight into the significant benefits of good nutrition for all health issues. Ginger works with a large health and beauty company, and she'll tell us about that. And she says she's having more fun than ever in her life. And you know your girl here is committed to fun. Ginger is married and she has 2 children and 2 little grands. So without another word from me, Boss Talkers, please welcome to our virtual stage, Ginger Carter. Hi, Ginger.
Hey, girl, how are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see you and have you on tonight.
Thank you so much. I'm just thrilled. This will be fun.
Yes, you look beautiful, and I love that blue turtleneck with the blue background.
Well, it's a little chilly here in Tucson. Can you believe it?
What? Oh
Yeah,
my
we're
goodness.
sort of-
What
sort
is
of
your
maybe-
temperature?
We've actually got some snow in some areas, and this doesn't happen, but the weather's been a little funky everywhere, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. My sister, where she lives, up near Fontana in California, it snowed for 30 minutes the other day. And I live in Lakeview Terrace, and down the street is Sylmar. They say it snowed there.
Yeah.
And out my window, I can see snow on top of the mountains. It is so cold. I had to open my door today because they're painting my house. And the guys came and I opened the door and literally it blew me back.
Ooh.
It is so, and this is California in case nobody remembered that.
Hey, I'm in the desert.
Yeah.
We're chilly over here, but
It's
I
really
don't know.
something.
It's all good. But yes, I'm in my turtleneck.
Understood. So listen, Ginger, thank you for joining. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you tonight. So let's get into it. So first, I'd love to know just how you started with the whole nutrition thing.
Okay. Well, I actually started in nursing school. I was very excited to be a nurse. When I went in the hospital, I didn't like my my time that I spent there. And somebody was talking to me about nutrition. And so I went and took a couple courses. And I said, you know what? I want to be more proactive as opposed to reactive. Now, that being said, y'all, I think that nurses are it. They're just it. They're it for the medical community. So I love the nurses. I love the nurse practitioners. I work with a ton of them. I think they're great. But I love being on this side, the prevention side, the proactive, where you can slow the possibility of illness and disease and or repair it. So how cool is that?
Yes.
So it's been really, really fun for me to do what I do with my degree. That's for sure.
I love it. So how long were you actually in the hospital working?
Well, I was just a 1 year, first year, getting my RN. And so I did a couple of little, stints in there just for like a week here, a week there, but I just didn't quite jive with me. Mm-hmm. Whereas I love this side of it.
Yeah. I think that that prevention is so important because, we wait till it's too late and then we're playing catch up and we're putting out fires. So I love the idea of being proactive and doing something before it gets to DEFCON 10, and
it's a big deal. My tagline is prevention is the key. I'm known as the red nutritionist. That's who I am. But prevention is the key, and it is. And I will tell you, just in the last couple of months, I think I've lost 4 friends, maybe 5 friends. None of them had any idea. None of them had any idea that the next day they would have the heart attack, the stroke, They would have something called carcinomatosis, which is cancer all over your body, and you literally just have days to live. I mean, different things for different people. I will tell you an interesting link with all 5 of these people is they had too much weight. I had literally too much weight. And I know I probably look pretty good right now, but I've actually been obese. I used to be a giant pear.
Wow.
I was just a giant pear. You know how you have different shapes.
Yes.
And I'm just positive that brought on some of the illness and disease that I have, because I'm a survivor of 3 autoimmune diseases, one of them being cancer, of which I've had twice.
Wow.
So when that happens, your mindset sort of goes, oh, it's time. It's time to sort of get it together and be thinking of things. So it took me a few years to repair. Rocking and rolling now, which is great to think that as you get older, you can repair.
Right.
It's never too late. Your weight is never too much. Your health is never too much. Your age is never too much. You can start today and make great changes to benefit your life and have a great quality of life. So it's not longevity, not to me anyway.
Right.
It's quality of life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you get some extra time and it's good quality, then that's great too.
You bet.
So you're saying that you were obese. What was the key thing that just sort of clicked for you? Because I know a lot of times people are like, and I know myself, I was obese and I might still be because I gained 20 pounds recently, but in that space, I know so often I was going to do it. And then I would for like this much time, and then I'd revert back, and then I do it again. So what was it for you, Ginger, that helped you make the real shift?
Well, I jokingly say, because I've actually traveled internationally speaking, and a lot of times I've been in, until that COVID thing, what happened, I would be in front of large crowds. And sometimes I would literally stand up and sort of deadpan them and just say, my name is Ginger Carter, and I'm a carboholic. So this chick loves sugar. So you were talking about sugar.
Oh, yes, which one?
Sugar. So that's my downfall. And so I went in and out, up. We've all done it, lose, gain, all of that kind of stuff. And I had a very hard time with sugar. I could eat whole gallons of the Shamrock. Remember when you could get the half gallons of the Shamrock ice cream chocolate chip? I could eat the whole Sara Lee cheesecake with the cherry on top. And it would come frozen, but I would take it home. And did I wait for it to thaw? No, I would dig right on into it. So I was that kind of a girl. So it took a lot. I'm lucky that I had a hubby who fell in love with me for me. Of course, I am pretty fun, but anyway, that's another discussion.
I love that. I had that hubby too, Ginger. I had that hubby too, because when I met my William, I was a big girl.
Yeah. Well, my husband actually helped me. So we decided he needed to put on a little weight. I needed to lose a little weight. So we both I lost. He gained 10 before we got married, but then I put it back on when he was in law school up in Sacramento. We moved up there. I think I was a little depressed because all my peeps were here. And so I put on more weight, and he came home one day and I'm sitting on the floor in our cute little teeny house that we had rented, and I'm just tears. And he goes, what is going on? I said, okay, well, I'm going to tell you the truth. I said, every day when you leave, and I'm sure some of your girls in particular, you're going to relate to this. I said, every day when you leave, I go into the kitchen and I get the Chips Ahoy cookies. They used to sell them in a sleeve, but there was I don't know, 30 or so in there. And I would eat them all down. And then I would go to the store and I'd buy another one and I'd eat it down to there. So bottom line is every day I ate a whole sleeve of Chips Ahoy cookies. And he said, well, that's not a problem. I just won't have them in the house anymore. And I'm like, he's not a sweet person, but he would have them every now and then when he was studying. And so that was like this mindset, because my daddy had always, love my daddy, love my daddy. He had 4 daughters. We all just adore him, but he got on me a little bit for my weight, and it just stuck with me, that mindset, that psyche that you have here. And I remember being the biggest cheerleader. I don't know how I made cheerleader, except I was decently athletic, but had a lot of extra weight on me. But I knew I was the biggest one out there. and some of the kids called me thunder thighs, the things that kids do, but they stick with you, and they stick with you through high school. And so when my husband said that, it was like click for me to have somebody that marvelous in my life that would say, it's cool, we just won't have this, and I'll help you work on it. And so slowly but surely, I dropped the weight and got smart enough to do some of the things that I needed to do that I'd learned in college. Hello, I was doing them,
Yeah.
So I've got 5 lifestyle choices that I teach. And if you want me to tell about that, I'm happy to do that.
Oh, absolutely. But let me just say this first. I'm William and when we would eat ice cream late at night, but when I first met him and we first started dating, I actually lost weight. And people were like, oh, you're in love. And I was like, well, yeah, I am, but that's not the why. The why is that I never cooked and ate at home. I ate out all the time. And when I let William come in the house finally, he looked at the refrigerator. He's like, where's your food? And I said, it's downstairs. He goes, what? I said, there's Mama's Pizza. There's Boston Market. There's Denny's. They were all down there. And so he went to the store and bought groceries. And I was like, and what am I supposed to do with those? He goes, you don't cook? I was like, no. So he started inviting me to come up to his place. And he cooked real meals, chicken, vegetables, those kinds of things. And I started to eat that. And I saw the weight just start to disappear. And I wasn't doing anything magical. I was just eating well.
Whole foods.
Whole foods. Yes.
Yep.
Well, please. So do tell about your 5, what do you call them?
Lifestyle choices.
Okay. I want to hear them. If you're out there, please put these in the chat. Go ahead. And as Ginger says, then please put the 5 lifestyle choices in the chat for me. All right. Go ahead, Ginger.
So the first one's the big one. And it's eating the healthy foods. So it's eating the healthy foods and eliminating the bad ones. Okay. So the healthy foods are going to be proteins, and you can get protein from your veggies, but you could certainly get it from meats. But if you're going to be eating meats, they've got to be lean. You got to cut off some of the stuff. You got to be smart about these kinds of things. But would prefer people to try to eat more protein if they can from things like nuts and seeds and beans and all of those kinds of things. Hummus is yummy. I love hummus. So just sort of changing things over a little bit. Then carbohydrates. And by the way, you need protein. Protein turns your brain on. So these people that say, I'm not going to have any breakfast. I just don't do any breakfast until like noon or 1. I'm like, no. Your body has to have it. So I don't know how you feel about having your brain turned on when you leave your house. I'm thinking it's a good idea.
I kind of think it's a good one too.
So a little bit of protein would be a really good idea. Carbohydrates, they actually give you the energy. So you have to have carbs, but it's the good carbs. It's not the ice cream that you and I ate or the cheesecake. Those turn it. You can have these things. I don't stop myself from doing it. If I want to do it, I do it. And then I don't, screw up everything for the next 3 days. But plant, as much plant as you can put into your body, fruits, vegetables, berries, grapes, all of those kinds of things, the seeds, all of that kind of stuff. And so almost unlimited on most of those, unless you really do have a weight problem. Then you want to cut back a little bit on your nuts and seeds and things like that. Mm-hmm. But it's very important to have those carbohydrates because they sustain your energy, and you want that. So you don't want yourself running out and eating all the time. Fats, yes, particularly us girls with all of our hormones and that kind of stuff, must have fats, but it's the good fats. So the fats from animal are not good, but the fats from plant are great. So from animal, they're what are called saturated fats. So slow down on saturated. And from plant, they're the unsaturated. And there's a lot of great avocados are great. Again, nuts, things like that.
See, those are the only 2 that I know. Avocado and nuts. Those are the ones that I know for sure are like unsaturated and good for you. What can you name some others?
Well, you've got olives. You could put those in your martinis. No, I'm just
Get
kidding.
Out of here. I didn't know that olives were at olive fat.
They do. And all of these things, by the way, you can Google these. So you can look, and Mr. Google, Ms. Google, whoever that the Google person is, Just say, what are the good healthy carbohydrates to eat, or the good healthy fats to eat, and you'll get a whole list of them. I send these out to my clients, but again, it's a really easy thing to pull up and go, oh, I like that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're right, girl. Didn't realize I could see anything there. So it makes your body feel fuller, and it lasts longer. So I was just saying, my perfect meal in the morning is a shake. I do a shake.
Oh, good. I was going to ask you if I could do a protein shake. Okay, good.
Perfect. But here's my caveat on shakes. You've got to be careful. There was a great research study that was done maybe 2 years ago. Nobody had even thought about this. We talk about toxins and chemicals and stuff that are in our plants, but you never really think about what they're in your shakes. Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot. There's some big box stores, I'm not going to name any names, that have got a lot of shakes, and people go to get those there because they're cheap. You won't believe the toxics and chemicals that are in there. So whatever you do put in your body, if it is something that is not like an apple, but it has some kind of processing to it. So like a shake is going to have some kind of processing to it. Look at the research on that. Look at the research. You've got to do that. It's extremely important. So whatever you put in your body, vitamins, to me, vitamins, you got to be very, very careful with those, because 85% of them come from China. So you got to know where these things come from. Yeah. But I do a shake every morning, and I tend to put like a scoop and a half because I want extra protein in there. You can certainly add, some fruits and things like that. But again, if you're diabetic or you're going keto or you have too much weight, don't put too much extra in there. You don't need to do that. And milk, I do no milk. I do very little dairy, really. You want to sort of eliminate the whites, and that's going to be your dairy and your flours and flour and things like that. So I do almond milk, but there's a lot of nut kind of milks, which, by the way, I love Trader Joe's. So I'm going to give them a huge high five. I've been to all of them, Sprouts and Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and all of those places. Trader Joe's has your back. So I'm just going to tell you, talk about research, y'all. They have your back. They test things. And you could add more protein to it, but it's great like that. So I know that I put my nutrients because I have phytonutrients. Phyto, P-H-Y-T-O, is Greek for plant. All of your veggies and fruits and nuts, those are phytonutrients. So I have powdered phytonutrients that I put it in a powder form into my shake. So my shake is loaded. I want a lot of nutrients. And by the way, let me also let you all know the reason why plant is so important for your body. It's the only thing that repairs your body. So you have to be adding, if you're not going to be eating, I know you're just going to croak over this one, the recommended 9 to 13 servings of fresh raw fruits and vegetables a day. And again, I'm going to want them to be organic. But if you can't do that, most people can't. I was a vegetarian for 10 years when I finally got it together, but I'm not any longer. But I still probably average, I'm going to say 5 to 7. So putting these easy peasy phytonutrients in powder form.
Oh, that helps you make it. That helps you make the quota.
Absolutely.
So that's really good. We have a Trader Joe lover here. Absolutely. And so now you mentioned the phytonutrients, and so I'm glad you said that, because I was doing them just because I know that I should. But I don't really know. I didn't know exactly what they were. I know I had Phyto Reds and Phyto Golds. I can't, my body can't take the Phyto Greens.
Okay.
And I know that because I've tried them from several different, organizations and different doctors and whatever. And they do not agree with this girl at all. And I actually think it's the spirulina algae that my body can't take.
Could be.
Ends up being most of them. But I had the Phyto Golds, protein, Phyto Greens, and the Phyto Golds are like the ginger, turmeric, and that sort of thing. Is that right?
A lot of the spices, yes.
Okay.
The same shake that I do. So, and I love that shake, and I love those phytonutrients, the best.
And what about the reds? What are they? What is the phyto?
That's
What are
going to be all of your red foods, your apple and your peppers and your tomatoes, some of your berries. In this particular instance, they're going to put your berries and grapes and things like that in there. So it's, again, loaded with a lot of really fabulous, particularly heart healthy. So a lot of heart healthy kind of stuff. Opens up your vessels, has a lot of something called resveratrol, which again opens up those vessels, strengthens the endothelium, which is the lining of all of the 24,000 feet of vessels in your body. Can you imagine? Yeah, just crazy.
That's
Just
incredible. Girls like Global.
Your heart pumps. It goes through every single one of those 24,000 in 1 minute.
What? The body is amazing.
It's amazing.
What a speaking of vessels, what a vessel, right?
What a vessel.
So, Girls Like Me Global says phytonutrients, plants are the only thing that repairs your body. So good. So she took that in. Very good. Yes. What foods from your experience help fight cancerous cells? Ooh, this is good and good. Go ahead. Share about that.
Well, so I have to tell you, I'm a 2-time survivor.
Wow.
I am a big 2-time survivor. So both of my girls here had it about 10 years apart. Wow. And I had partial mastectomies in both.
10 years apart. Wow.
10 years apart. So you always want to be keeping up with everything. So the number one food that I would put into anybody's diet if they were worried about cancer or have had cancer is going to be broccoli.
Oh, good. I love broccoli. It's my favorite. I'm having it for dinner.
Good. That's perfect. A lot of the greens, and then particularly a lot of the ocean or sea greens, which you might have a problem with your algae and spirulina and that kind of stuff. But they're very, very high in cancer fighting properties.
So what would that look like? Would that be seaweed and that sort of thing, you mean?
It would be. Or it would be the greens, like the greens that you don't take with the company of which I take every day. I mean, I'm sort of religious about it, but after you've had cancer twice, you sort of learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do a big salad. I have a great big huge, absolutely gorgeous indoor and an outdoor growing system called the Tower Garden. And again, I can send a link to anybody about that. I've been growing these for 10 years. So I grow all of my greens.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
And I'm going to recommend anybody, if you can, please grow as much as your own food if you can. You would be sort of shocked what is on our food. So, and I would get as much organic, and I realize it's hard to do it. That's another reason why I grow mine. Mine, it's all vine ripened, which means the nutrition level is very high because it's developed. It's not picked early. It's all organic. The taste on it is the best. So I have it huge every day.
No, my sister started growing butter lettuce inside. Like, is that hydroponics or something like that?
This is actually an aeroponic. Hydroponic means you're growing things in water. This is a no soil. So it's a tower, and I put little plants in there, very specific. So don't be putting something with dirt because it has no dirt. That will screw up the whole ecosystem in there. You fill up the base, the big base. It's about 30 inches, and then the towers in the middle goes up where the little seedlings are, and you put water in there and nutrients. So my one on the indoor of my house, I probably put water and nutrients like every 2 weeks, and you plug it in because it has a little pump, and the pump brings all the water and the nutrients up the tower and feeds it and waters it. And
get out of here.
Goes on like every 15 minutes. Oh, it's a no-brainer. I love this. I did a whole farm here in Arizona with these tower gardens.
I love it. And so somebody like me, because I will kill a plant, let me tell you, in no time flat. So I could even do this because I've been threatening to start growing. I have an area in my backyard all decided for growing like tomatoes. I was going to try to do. And so, I could even do that right in the backyard. Is that good? Still,
California is the number one state that grew the very best.
Oh, good. Okay.
We have
Okay.
to be a little careful in Tucson. It gets a little toasty here at times, so I have to
Yeah.
bring it into the shade. But I do an indoor one and an outdoor one.
And the
Um,
tower outdoors as well? Is that what you mean?
yeah, yeah,
Ah, well, the tower sounds quite interesting and easy. So
yeah,
I'm gonna look into that too.
yeah, yeah. And I can give anybody any information on all that. I love these things. As I said, I've been growing them for 10 years. But my point is, and again, you can go to a farmer's market, but here's my caveat: chat with that person. Even though they look adorable and they're sitting there with their apron and they've got, a big bushel of whatever, where did it come from? How did you grow it? Is it organic?
Mm.
Shocked because there's a guy here and I caught him. There was just something that didn't jive about him that was really bugging me. And I finally asked him enough questions one time and figured out that this adorable guy that kept going to all the different places and his produce was great. He bought from the buyers that Safeway does. So he didn't grow anything.
Rude.
Yeah, for sure. But there was not anybody that said he couldn't do it. And I found out by accident. And when I went to the next farmer's market, there he was. And I said that. And so now I don't see him anymore. But anyway, just ask them what they do, where they get it from, and stuff like that.
This
Organic
is so good because these are things that I would never think of and
Mhm.
of asking. So I'm so glad you're sharing these things.
Yeah, it's important. And non-GMO, extremely important.
Hmm.
It's people have to understand that our food now is there are companies out there that genetically modify stuff. And bottom line is, by the time we eat it, it's not really whole food anymore.
Hmm.
And with everything that's going on, at the grocery stores now and the expensive things, for crying out loud, I would think people would want to learn how to grow some of their food, but it's healthier. And again, that you can grow it so that it's vine ripened, which again, you almost double the nutrition in that tomato or the butter lettuce or whatever the case may be. I mean, how smart is that?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So Ginger, so now you know how January comes and everybody's making a New Year's resolution and they're going to do everything differently and they're going to go on this great big old diet. And most of us are trying a fad diets and that sort of thing. And I know that there are enough of them out there to you could go through one every month and never reach the end of all of the diets that are out there and available. But
True.
what do you say about dieting versus whatever? What are your thoughts on actually when people say I'm going on a diet? Because you know
Okay.
what most of us mean. We're going to starve, or we're going to try to starve ourselves for as long as we can, and then we're going to eat a lot to make up for it. So help us out.
Do not do that. Okay. So again, we were talking about the 5 lifestyle choices. We're still on food, eating, because you have to eat. You've got to have sustenance. My favorite, and I actually don't like the word diet because it has the word die, D-I-E, in it.
Mm-hmm.
You think diet, I think negatively, people get in a bad mindset. And mindset in regards to staying healthy, doing your exercise, eating healthy, doing all the good lifestyle choices. It is a lot about mindset, getting up in the morning and really doing it, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite lifestyle program for eating is the Mediterranean. They do call it the Mediterranean diet. And that is made up of lean meats, tons of fruits and vegetables, olives, nuts, a little bit of red wine.
Oh, I love that.
Be able to put that in there, but you can pull that up really easily. And when you look at the people that have had the Mediterranean diet, and they've done some massive studies, the Lion study, oh my gosh. And they had to do that one twice because the results were so significant for people, lowering all their heart disease, lowering cancer, lowering better longevity, better quality of life. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But the countries around the world that do a lot with the Mediterranean diet, they don't have breast cancer.
Wow.
They don't have heart attacks. They don't have weight problems.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and you wonder why? It's because they're eating the Mediterranean diet. Yeah, it's really tough.
Now that, yeah. So really, and I love that you said that about the diet and the word die in it and that whole thing, because really that is a lifestyle shift,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And that's what we say that, you know, and I think for me that really helps because I hate the word diet because it means restrictive, it means sticking to it, it means whatever. But if you just change, like if you're going to eat in this Mediterranean way, then
Mhm.
see, I didn't say the word, then
Yeah.
you're actually just making different choices, like choosing to incorporate new foods into your health routine. I'm going to call it. I almost said into your diet, into your health, into
Yes,
your
yes, yes.
health routine. I
Yeah.
love, I love that a lot, and I do, and I actually love that food.
Oh, I do too. I
Yeah,
do too.
there are several restaurants. Oops, I said that word. There are several restaurants that I am no longer allowed to order from in my area because I had to really stop myself from using those mobile delivery systems. I won't say all of their names, but y'all know them. They start with a D, they start with a P, they start with a G. That are out there because it becomes so convenient. And I
Sure.
think that that's a part of our problem as Americans, number one, because we like it easy.
We
And
do make it easy. I agree. And the mommies, I got the three little kids, and they're in the back of the car, and they picked them up, and she's exhausted. She's done laundry all day. Maybe she had a full-time job for crying out loud, and now she's taking care of babies. It's just so easy to drive right on in that fast food place. I get it. I get
absolutely.
it. I get it.
Mhm.
But it's crazy. So I want to give you a visual. One of the things that my husband and I do at least once a week is we eat tapas. No, you can have any cancer you want. Any
Big,
cancer you want, or excuse me, any broccoli you want,
big
William. And
vegetables.
mix it up, by the way, because there are different kinds of apples, different kinds of broccoli, different kinds of this and that, right? They all have different phytonutrients.
Mhm.
So it's pretty important to mix it up. There's like 10,000 phytonutrients. So if you get different apples, you're going to get different ones or different broccolis or whatever. So mix it
Oh,
up. Yeah.
is there
But
any one that's better than another, or is it just different?
not really. Not really, but because again, they all have essential nutrients. I'm going to use that, and so I think it's really great to mix it up. So we do. We'll have different apples, different oranges, different broccoli, different everything. Lots of different lettuces. We grow
Mhm.
numerous different kind of shards and all sorts of different things. So
Yes.
mix it up, mix it up.
Well,
But back
I
to
got to
this.
tell you. Okay, I want you to say that, but I want to say one thing that just popped in my
Okay.
head. I am always thinking of like going to different places and trying their new desserts and their new, all that kind of stuff. And when you said that about all the different lettuces that are out there that you can try, then I thought, well, what if I started trying all the different healthy things that are out there and available for me to eat? Now I'm on a roll because I'm really in a good space right now where I want to really do something different and I want to make it last. I just had another dance around the sun. And so I made it here and I want to keep dancing. So I think I'm in a space now where I can hear all these great tips and things that you're giving us. And I really like that idea. I'm going to use that to shift my mindset. I'm
Good.
going to go on an exploration of all the different things that are actually good for me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to give a shout out to William Seals, who is a first time boss talker tonight. This is his first time on coming in and watching the show. So thank you for tuning in and glad to have you. And so let's hear some more from Ginger. All right, Ginger. So what are you going to say?
On the lettuces, so the lighter colored ones, like your iceberg, is worth nothing, by the way.
I heard
That's
that.
like
I
a
remember
throwaway
that.
one. Butter lettuce doesn't have a whole lot of nutrients, but I love butter lettuce. So I do whole salads with butter lettuce. I had one tonight for dinner, as a matter of fact. But then when you get up in color, like your spinach is darker and your kale and your chard and all of those are darker. And I love the chard with the red stripes and the yellow stripes. I mean, so
Mhm.
it makes it gorgeous, makes it really gorgeous.
Yeah.
So when I do a salad, I will typically have about 5 to 10 different things in it because we'll cut up
Mhm.
peppers, we'll put apples in there, all sorts of stuff. But one of my favorite things that I was just going to tell you that my husband and I love to do is we like to eat tapas. Do any of your people know what eating eating in a tapas style is like?
I think I do, but let's hear from them first. Anybody know? Bill, do you know what that is? Girls Like Me Global? I actually just did it the other night.
I'll tell you all. So it's really where you have smaller items of whatever you do. So I love, love, love to bring a tray out, and I have small little dishes in there. So we'll have like if we do artichokes. So I always think about these things. I'll do a meal where I'll get some great salmon and great rice, and then we'll make some artichokes. But we do 4 artichokes. There's just 2 of us at home anymore, right? So we chill 2 of them. So in a day or 2, we will put that chilled one on a little, ramekin, a bowl here, and put that on this red tray that I have. We'll put some nuts on there. We'll put some olives on there. We'll get some smoked salmon, or the salmon that we did the other night. We'll have some leftover of that. Then we'll add in some sliced apples, maybe some prunes, or some, we just add in, again, do you see the looks of this? And then we'll have red wine with it.
I love that.
So you have, it's so tasty, so different. You get a little bit of all these different things on there. I'll always have sliced avocado on there. So it's beautiful, first of all, but it's tasty, and you're getting a little bit of all sorts of different kinds of phytonutrients and things like that. So
love that. Yeah, I went out to celebrate a friend's birthday. Happy birthday, Camellia. And we went to a place called Joey's out in Manhattan Beach, and they brought us the menu, and we decided that we wanted to go tapas style. So we just ordered a bunch of different appetizers. So I'm sure y'all have done this a million times when you go out. And then what happens, what I recognize is that if I eat a few different, appetizers and try and taste around, I don't want an entree. And so, but I used to order it because I just thought I had to, or I thought I should, or I was greedy and my brain wanted it and my tummy didn't. And so I don't do that anymore. So when they came back and they said, do you want anything else? You're like, no, I think we're good. And so we all had, we got to taste and try one another's dishes. And it was fun because we got a little bit of everything. We got to try the new things that they had there, and we left there feeling good and not stuffed.
Yes.
So perfect. I like that. I like that idea.
Perfect.
I never thought of doing that at home. I like it.
It is fun. It is super fun. My husband and I love to do that. So the second lifestyle choice is going to be hydration. Hydration only means water. So I know, good girl. I know everybody wants to put everything else in there. No, water. And you need half your body weight in ounces of water a day. So think about what you weigh. Say you weigh 150, that's 75 ounces. And I know it's always funny when I do this at live, because you could see people up here. It's like, OMG. She wants me to drink how much? Like, really? But you need that. You need that. That helps you detox your body. And also, by the way, you've got thousands and thousands of metabolic reactions that really need to happen in your body every day. They're not going to happen without water. So if you don't have that, so I'll get you a little scared here, which is what I like to do sometimes. It will bring on illness and disease much faster. It will bring on aging much faster. It'll bring on death much faster. So it's really, all of these sort of fall into those 3 things that I just said, by the way. I mean, you've got to be eating well, getting rid of the processed food. Water is extremely important. Exercise, that's another one that people are like, I don't really want to do that. But so, my joke, I've got a great joke on a PowerPoint, and it's a guy sitting there up on the, the little cart with the doctor in front of him, and the doctor says, basically, well, what would you like to do? Would you like to exercise, maybe 1 hour a day, or would you like to be dead 24?
Okay. Got it.
Just saying. So,
yeah, right? Well, I have a question though, Ginger. So for some reason, and I must give a shout out to my waterman. There we go. WC Water. It's natural spring water, and that WC stands for Well Connected. That's Lucia Nehemiah, and that's Well Connected Gear. That's his line of clothing. Well Connected Entertainment. That's his entertainment company, and Well Connected Water. Get yours. It's yummy, and we only drink Well Connected water here at Living Loved and on Boss Talk. So. Shout out to you, Lucienne. Where are you? You should be on here tonight.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent.
But Ginger, my question. So I have a very bad habit of not drinking enough water. I have been dehydrated. I have gone to the hospital because I've been dehydrated. It's bad.
Yes.
So can I still turn it around and it make a difference?
You can, and I'm going to make suggestions because I have a lot of clients and patients that I work with that do the exact same thing. My father ended up in the hospital for a month, almost died because things had sort of shrunk down in his body. I mean, his organs were failing, everything because of lack of water. Just that simple of thing. So water is a bugaboo for you. There's numerous places you can get this. Get one of those big containers that you can carry with you that has like 64 ounces.
Okay.
But how about infused water?
I love infused water.
You can put different kinds of fruit in there and, let it soak up for a whole day and the next day. And they're just delicious. Oranges or cucumbers, you could do cherries. I mean, you could do all sorts of different things. I know the company that I'm with, because one of the things that we don't get enough in our diet are minerals. And they have got something called Revitalize. I do it every single day. It comes in a little teeny sleeve. It's a little powder. And it has all these different nutrients and minerals in it. And I put it in the water. It's delish. Okay. I mean, super duper tasty. Love it, love it, love it. I typically only use half a sleeve, and then I use the other half the next day. But it's a great way to make the water more appealing.
So I've tried all of those before.
Okay.
So I do love it that way, but I forget. And so I'm glad that you reminded me of these options. And I actually like the taste of water. I don't know what it is, but I know that I'm going to go home tonight and get out my big pink 64 ounce nice little container, and I'll set it on the counter tonight. In fact, I just bought my berries. So I'll put my berries in there. I even have one that has a little infuser basket that goes down in it. Well, I guess it's more like an infuser sleeve. Yeah. So I maybe will get, and maybe that's it. Maybe I will trade it around a little bit. I'll use the pink one. I'll use the purple one with the infuse. Yeah, I think maybe I'll do that and get some variety in the spice of my life there. When it comes to that.
Habits usually take 21 days. You could put a ticker on your phone.
Okay.
It goes off 3 times a day, 3 different times. Also, I got to tell you, I do not leave my bathroom in the morning. Do not. I get up, I go in the bathroom, and the very first thing I do is drink a glass of water. And it just, whether I want to or not, because it gets your whole everything moving, and you want to get your whole everything moving.
So, that's right.
So it's just an idea. Anyway, so there's one. There's one for you, one glass of water, which is terrific. So if anybody takes pills, you could do that. I mean, just get in the habit of doing that. And I always have a glass right by. I have a plastic glass. I don't break it. Right by my sink, right there. And I keep a couple right by the sink in the kitchen also. So I remember to do this. Whatever helps you remember to do that. If you can do it 21 days, you probably got it down.
Okay. All right. And and this is it. I'll mark it on the calendar and I will keep you posted.
Good girl. Good girl.
Right. So y'all out there, what is the one thing that you, based on what Ginger said so far, what is the one thing that you will incorporate into your future? That's going to be for your health and wellness. So put it in the chat. What are you going to change? What are you going to add to your routine, or what are you going to reincorporate? Because like I said, sometimes I can get this thing going and then out the window it goes. So what are you going to add back in? So just put it in the chat so that we know you're tracking with us. So go ahead, Ginger. What other goodies do you have for us tonight?
Okay, so again, we covered 2 of the lifestyle choices. Third
Yeah.
one's going to be exercise. And again, I know people sort of they sort of hate that one, but how about, because we are getting close to spring, so I don't know where you live, how about if you just simply go for a walk? Now, when I say that, I don't mean stroll. Strolling is out. Strolling is out. I want you to have a little bit of a pace, and as you get going, I want you to have a little bit more of a pace. You're trying to get this guy pumping. Nothing more important to keep this guy healthy and pumping. So you've got to be doing that. Also helps you lose weight, keeps you toned up, great for your bones, osteoporosis and all of those kinds of things.
Yes.
So it's really important. You could, at some point, if you're getting really good at that, you could speed it up enough so that you do a run walk. You could also add weights on your ankles, weights on your waist, weights on this, that kind of thing. There's some great, super free. So I'll give you this is my favorite tip ever. Her name is, are you ready?
Yes.
Betty Rocker.
Betty Rocker. I love it.
I found Betty Rocker. She is cute as a button. She obviously has some little studio apartment in, I don't know, New York or wherever the heck far. And she's a trainer. She's really good. She's got great certifications. She does 15-minute. So you know what? Don't anybody give me grief about you can't do 15 minutes in your own home, for crying out loud.
Okay, come on.
So she'll give you the first 30 days free. I loved it so much because she does everything. She'll do cardio. And by the way, you need nothing. You don't have to buy a thing, but she'll help you do some weight bearing stuff. She'll bring in the yoga person. She'll bring in the Pilates person. So over 30 days, you get 30 very different 15-minute. And then you have the chance to buy it. I bought it for a lifetime. I think it cost me like $125.
For the lifetime?
For the lifetime. So I get the 15-minute one. She's got 30 minutes one. It is my favorite workout thing to do. So I used to have this, go to the gym, spend the money, blah, blah, blah. Then they took out my doggone Les Mills, which I'd love to do because all the girls were there. It was super fun. Ticked me off. And now they don't do that. So I can do everything here with Betty Rocker or going out for a walk. I do like cross training. Like I like to do some cycling, bicycling, nothing major, by the way. I used to do tennis, but I ended up with a bad knee. So now I'm doing some, what's that called? I want to say cricket. It's not cricket. It's like tennis. It's on a sport. No, it's not a
pickleball. This pickleball thing that people are doing.
You got it. Pickleball.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
that's
you do pickleball, but not tennis? Because to me, pickleball looks like tennis.
Well, yeah, because it's a little bit closer in, I don't stretch quite as much. Whatever it is, my point is do some cross training. And then I'm going to say, go to Target, start with some 5-pound weights and then go to 7s, then go to 8s and 10s. You can do that. Again.
I got some really great weights and bands from it's the store for all of us girls, Marshalls, from Marshalls, because Marshalls is the place that has everything. And I got some nice little 2-pound weights there, and I got these nice bands also, the rubber band, the what do you call it? Resistance bands, which I really like those. So I'm back on my fitness groove. I've been doing what's it called? Stretch and lengthen. I've been doing stretch and lengthen, and she does enough exercises that actually get my heart going, and I sweat, and I'm happy to know because she says she says if you're sweating, that means that you have good muscle mass and your metabolism is revving up. And so I'm so excited because I was actually sweating from stretching. So that's really good. Let's see what they're saying out there. Gigi's here. Hello, Miss Gwendolyn Goodman. She says this is truly in concert with our life desire and striving for daily as a lifestyle. Yes, I don't know what that, but okay. Teaching the Daniel Plan Bible study for the next 40 days of Lent. Loving this conversation's encouragement. Yes, indeed. And she is doing that. And, along with that, this is not what they're actually doing this time. They're doing a whole Bible study, but there is the Daniel fast, which this is a good time to start doing that. And I've been thinking about that because what I know about that is it knocks out all those cravings because it's mostly like a lot. It's a lot. Now that is the only time that I can remember that I've had a ton of water. Ton of water. Bill says, I was about to ask you about infused water. Thank you. Thank you. And Gigi says pickleball. So I was like, I learned about it on television actually. Marshall's Girl here too. Great for all things fitness. Absolutely. Absolutely. They even had a little journal that I got to keep track of things.
Perfect.
So of course, there's always the phone, but to find a cute little journal at Marshall's, you got to get it, right?
Yeah, of course we do.
So I think we were on 4. We're on 3 or 4.
The fourth one is de-stress. The number one de-stressor is exercise.
Wow.
It's just really important. But you could do meditation. You could play with the kids or the grandkids if you like. If you don't, then don't, because that will stress you. Reading, singing in a choir, singing in your bath, in your shower, for crying out loud. Basically, a de-stressor is something that you love.
Yes.
That you love. It could be loving another person. It could be loving a dog. Your de-stress kind of stuff. But again, exercise, nothing will quite beat that, but that's really important. And then the last one is stress. And stress can kill you. And so you've got to be doing stuff that will de-stress. One of my favorite things really is to take a lavender salt bath. Last night I actually took a lavender bubble bath. I don't normally do that because it tends to dry me out because I'm, redhead. I have really dry skin, but it's just fun to have those bubbles to play with.
Yeah. Well, everybody, all the Boss Tuckers know that I'm a daily bubble bath girl. I'm a daily bubble bath. And lavender is actually one of my favorite ones. My husband, God rest his soul, used to every single day, Ginger, draw my bubble bath for me.
Oh, love it.
And we started putting those infused Epsom salts in there. Those are so magnificent. So yes, I have learned, y'all, how to run my own bubble bath. Thank you very much. But I really love that. And that's my time to de-stress. I meditate there. I pray there, read my quiet time, listen. I like to listen to my Bible on my phone. And that's how I sort of set my day.
That's perfect.
And so now I'm going to bring the water in there and sit it right next to the candle.
Yes. And you do want to and candle, absolutely that. Try to get as much water in it in the early part of the day.
Yes.
All you girls that might find yourself getting up in the middle of the night, one time too many, because you drank so much water. So just sort of an FYI on that one. But yeah, that is perfect. And as far as the Epsom salt baths, you can go to Walgreens and buy real inexpensive Epsom salt. There's no difference between all of those. But then where you might want to get into a little bit of money is to get some of the oils, different oils. So like I have geranium, and of course I definitely have lavender, but you have all different ones. So depending on what your mood is for the night, you just Epsom salts, put them in there, and then add in whatever that particular oil is. Mm-hmm. Just sort of fun to do different stuff like that. But
now Gwendolyn is an essential oil queen, so I know she's going to chime in here in a moment. But so those are some great tips. Now I know, Ginger, that you are with a particular health and beauty and wellness company that you work with, and you and I do that together. So could you tell a little bit about some of the things that you have found that are really, really amazing with respect to that?
So I was with another company for 19 years.
Wow.
Long time. They had some great products, but just within the health, and that's my background, health. So I love that. Mm-hmm. But I just needed to do something different in my life, very much. For a couple of reasons. I lost my sister. We had 12 days notice and she was gone. We had no idea she was even sick. So that's another story. But that one took me about 3 months to sort of just come up for air. And at that point I said, you know what? So here's my quote. If it ain't fun, I'm not going to do it.
Yes.
And so it's got to be fun. So I think I've definitely known a little bit as the fun girl, and I love doing that.
That's why we click so well.
Well, of
I'm
course,
known as the fun girl.
yeah, it's good to have fun girlfriends to work and play with. So
Yes.
we get right now. I think we're sort of playing, but we do. I don't know if I'm going to call it work, but we are with this company that I love because it is health and beauty, and it's very fun to work in the beauty. So they happen to have $2 billion products. They've been in business for 30 years. One of them is the #1 collagen in the world. And honestly, girlfriends, guy friends, all of you all, as we get older, we lose this protein in our body called collagen. And that's what sort of holds us all together. So you know that you probably are losing that when you've got joint pains or you're getting wrinkles, even probably gut health, because it has a lot to do with gut health. So collagen is really important, but don't be, again, conned. I just can't say that enough on companies that, because everybody has collagen now. And I will tell you that powdered collagen is not worth its weight in anything. You've got to take 2 to 3 times. So I know they've got some great Hollywood stars that are saying this stuff is good, but you know what? I tried the Hollywood star stuff. I tried a couple of big ones. They did nothing for me. This liquid collagen rocks. So I love that. Their second biggest $1 billion product is something that works on your fat cells. So I know pretty much most of us girls have these areas in our body. And of course, I used to have the whole body that was a large area that I wanted to lose from. So it will definitely help you lose weight. But what our CEO, who is actually the formulator, has figured out is how to reduce the size of your fat cells. So, I mean, how cool is that?
What? Oh my God. I didn't know that. Yeah.
We have an area. So like, as an example, after this tragedy, when I did 0 for myself, eating, exercise, good stuff, nothing for 3 months. So when I finally sort of woke up one day, I had this gut, I couldn't fit in any pair of pants because I've been wearing jammies for 3 months. Not like me, but that was my best friend in the world. And that one was a hard one for me. Wasn't planning on that. Not that you ever do. So,
right.
But anyway, so I called my friend who I knew had this collagen, because at that point I had wrinkles all over my body. I'd gotten this gut, and she literally just lickety split sent these 2 products over for my husband and myself. Now, he was a little better than me. He was actually still cycling and doing some great stuff, but still, you know, when one spouse is going through grief, you sort of both do, you know?
Right.
So anyway, within a month, we just went, wowzer, we're pretty happy with this. And so I started looking the research, because my background's research. Got to see that research. Got to know if it works, not just with you. And I'm super excited, you know, Sean Lorraine, that you love this product, but you know what? I want to see the research on it too, with a whole bunch of people. And I was so impressed with that. I went, this is the fun that I'm looking for in my life. So I moved over there 2 years ago, right now, as a matter of fact, and very exciting, having a blast doing that. They've got great nutritional products. Those are those phytonutrients that we were talking about, you know, and everything. But here's the big news. Woo! This week, I'm so jazzed. I can't even tell you. This week, they came out with a game-changing, groundbreaking. Good Lord, help me out anytime. New product, and it's actually 2 products, and they are hormone balancers. They are intuitive health to balance your hormones during the month. So I fall into the menopause, and you're probably thinking, well, you know, she doesn't have her cycle anymore. This is no big deal. Yeah, you know what? Even though I'm not bleeding, I don't have a period, you still have stuff going on during the month. Right. And of course, girls that are still going through menstruation definitely are. So what they have figured out, and they spent 5 years researching it. That would be the kind of company this is. I'm so honored and proud to be associated with them. I can't even tell you. But they figured out exactly that you lose, all of us gals, that's 50% of the world here, lose 200 nutrients and metabolites during that 30 day cycle. Wow. And you don't want to lose these things. So they've done massive research as to what you lose at what time and how to bring it back in. So, I mean, some of the things, I've got a list here of these things, but really they're all plant. 100% plant phytonutrients, no hormones, no soy, no chemicals, no synthetic, no, none of that stuff. And I got a lot of girlfriends out there that are spending a ton of money to get relief for things like, and the research is already on this with these products, PMS, cramping, heavy flow. I'm going to read these so I don't forget. Sleep, energy, low libido, vaginal dryness, mental focus, that brain fog that you
yes.
getting up and peeing, during the night, hot flashes, the sweats. I mean, we girls, sorry,
get all the fun.
was here, but you know what? We are absolutely positively the stronger sex. Could you possibly see a guy going through a period?
Not for 1 second, not for a half a second.
No, never going to happen. Never going to happen. Well, that's what this targets. I mean, is this too cool?
I love it. I love it.
Cool.
I am so excited.
I've only been on it 3 weeks, and for me, I've gotten the deepest sleep I've ever gotten in my whole life. I love it. And I wake up and I'm sort of like I am right now all day. I used to have a lull. I don't have that. It's helped with libido. It's helped with vaginal dryness. There are times during the month I get a little grumpy. I don't know. I've been pretty happy girl.
Now, and this is only in how long you said? 1 week?
Monday. It was released on Monday.
Oh, wow. And
research has been 5 years, but it was released on Monday.
So and you're noticing these things that quickly. I'm excited because I'm buying mine as soon as we get off of here. I pulled it up on my computer so that I can jump right on it because, my little brain will forget it. So Boss Talkers, if you're out there and this makes any sense to you at all, what Ginger is saying, ladies, if you're out there and there are some things like what Ginger's talking about that, that you've experienced and you would be interested in getting some help with it, put that in the chat. I know Gwendolyn said, okay, where can this product be purchased? Yeah. Well, you already know, darling, because you know and love me.
Get back to Sean LeRae. She is definitely. I'm able to help her because she's my partner. So we work together.
And Gwendolyn has actually been introduced to the product with my hair is doing some funny things, y'all. I'm sorry. Here we go. So, but Gwendolyn has heard about the product and has really been interested in some of the things that we've shown her. But I know that this is something that is groundbreaking, and there's not anyone out there who's doing it quite like this. So I'm really excited to be a part of it as well. Very excited.
There's a 13-minute video, and Sean LeRae can send it to you, so you can see from the people who did it through and they'll give you all the basics in there. It covers it beautifully.
And ladies and gentlemen, it is a woman who is the brains behind this outfit. And so she is doing some of this stuff. I remember watching a video where she said she did this to help herself with some of the experiences that she was having as, she was becoming a woman of a certain age. So I'm really excited about this more. I was excited before, but this has been something that I've been really, really not wanting to get behind and really put the word out there because it's really important stuff. Important stuff. Let's see what's being said in the chat. Bill said, everything this woman is saying is biblically sound. She is right on the mark with everything thus far. Well, thank you, Bill, for noticing that. And Ginger, of course, that's great. Shout out to you. Let's see. Global Girls Like Me Global said, in this world where it seems hustling our way through is the way, hashtag Girls Like Me love cultivating spaces where we can rest and be refilled. Absolutely. And I think that everything that you've talked about, Ginger, really leads to that, just being refilled. And that's why I was so excited to bring you on, because I knew that you would give us tips that would help with our everyday good living. And that's really what it's all about, especially when you have as many, dances around the sun as I've been blessed to have. I'm so excited, and I want to keep dancing well as we continue along this journey. So Boss Talkers out there, put in the chat one thing that you will incorporate into your lifestyle, as Ginger has the, what do you call them? The lifestyle
Choices.
choices.
They're your choice to do or not.
So what is a lifestyle choice that you will incorporate since hearing from Ginger today? I know for me, the biggest thing, because what Ginger said about those wrinkles and all that stuff, ain't nobody trying to have that. So I am going to drink half my body weight in water starting tomorrow. In fact, I'm going to make a commitment right now. I'm going to go live tomorrow. And I have not, I honestly have been Miss Anti-Social Media girl for quite a while here. It's time to get back. I think before I had back surgery, I went quiet on social media, but it's time that your girl gets back out there, because if I make the commitment out loud to you all, then I cannot let either of us down. So I am going to be drinking half of my body weight in
Ounces.
spring water, in ounces, in well-connected water. That's what I'm going to do. So Lou, you better drop back by again tomorrow. Listen, Ginger, I got to tell you, I was very much convicted because I wanted, somebody asked me, I said, where are we going? What are we wearing? And they said jeans. And I thought, I don't have any that fit. And so I got on the scale, which is something that I had not done. I got on the scale, Ginger, and my scale was very rude to me in that it's the kind of scale that tracks your weight and all of your body metrics, your water intake, your BMI, all of that stuff. And I got on there and the scale went and it landed on a number that I shall not repeat. And then it said, your weight has increased significantly. And below it had two buttons. And one said, yes, it's me. The other one said, no, it is not me. In other words, you're so chubby that this could not possibly be you this quickly. So I am convicted. So I will be starting out with the water, and I'm going to, I have given up good old sugar for Lent. That's my sacrifice, but I feel like I need to do more. And so I'm gonna pray about that and see what else, because I don't want to give up sugar just for Lent. I need to make it something that is going to sustain well after these 40 days. So yes, indeed. Oh, Gwendolyn. Okay. Gwendolyn says, I commit to earlier sleep and more water daily. All right. So Gigi, since you and I talked just about daily, we can hold one another accountable. And that's another thing, to have an accountability partner.
Oh, the best.
So Gigi, I pick you, and I'm going to go to bed earlier too. That's another one that I need, because Ginger, I have ADHD. I have more energy than anybody on the planet. But I need to get more sleep. Just because I have the energy doesn't mean that I need to expend it up until the 11th hour.
Sleep is the only time your body repairs.
When I had my first back surgery in 2003, that's what my doctor told me. He said there are certain healing enzymes and nutrients that secrete at night when you are sleeping, and you do not get enough of them.
Yeah, very important. So good.
All right, I'm on it. Well, so does anybody else want to say what you're going to do here? I know Gigi's not the only one who was blessed here with some good ideas. So please go ahead, put it in the chat right now. So also, I want to give you an opportunity, Ginger, to give us just some parting words, but also, where can the Boss Talkers find you on social media, or do you have a website? Or
I sent you in the
Ginger
in the email that you sent me. I forwarded it back right when you told me before we started. I sent you my website, so if you can copy and paste that, because I can't do that from here.
Okay, I'm going to grab that.
And then my Facebook is Ginger Jackson Carter. My crazy looking redhead there. And my Instagram is the Red Nutritionist.
I like that.
Nutritionist. Yeah.
So wait, let me see. This is your website. So let me put that up there. That is Ginger's website. And if you want to find her on Facebook, what is your Facebook?
Ginger Jackson Carter.
Ginger Jackson. Oops.
And again, that right there says the Red Nutritionist. That's my Instagram also.
Oh, and then on IG, the Red Nutritionist.
Thank you.
And that's all. Is that all written together?
It is.
I'm going to separate it, but y'all know how to do Instagram so that you can actually see it. Ta-da! So take a picture of that or click on the link right now in the chat so that it's handy for you. And then you can find Ginger on Facebook at Ginger Jackson Carter, and then on IG, the Red Nutritionist. And you'll know because you'll see that beautiful redhead right there on her photo, I'm sure. So, Ginger, this has been so great, and I'm so appreciative of all of the nuggets that you dropped for the Boss Talkers and for me, because I'm going to take some myself. But just if you could just give us some parting words, it would be great.
Well, my hashtag prevention is the key. Never think it couldn't happen to you, because not only could it will. But wouldn't it be great to have it way down the line? And again, have that great quality of life. I've got my husband and I rarely hang with people our age because I'll be real honest, they're so freaking old.
Yes, indeed.
Mentally, physically. Yeah, it's really sad to me. I just went to a class reunion. And you're going to die when you hear this. We walked in, we were half an hour late, I guess. Walked in, there was a bunch of tables over there, and people were sitting down. And I turned around to Jeff and went, "Oh my gosh, Carter." And he said, "What?" And I said, "My friends have brought their parents."
Wow.
Wasn't the parents. I was shocked. I was just shocked. So, I want to work and play with people who are mentally young. They don't have to be physically young, but y'all know what I mean.
Yes,
I mean, Charlie. And you want to be one of those people.
Absolutely.
Okay? You want to be in that over on the wall at your class reunion. Not cool. So get up and do it. Take these 5 lifestyle choices, choose whatever. Don't feel like you have to do it all. That's what they do when you wake up on January 1. I'm going to do it all. And then 2 weeks, you're done. Don't do that.
Exactly.
Just a little bit of time.
So, Ginger, give us the 5 lifestyle choices again so that you guys can have this in your minds. And by the way, do know that you can click on the very same link that you're watching with now and watch this replay over and over and over again until you get it down. So don't sleep on that. But just repeat them real quickly for those of us who are.
The first one's going to be really eating more of that Mediterranean diet. So eating the good, healthy foods and slowing down on the processed foods. So all that. Second one is the hydration, which is water. Third one is exercise. Fourth one is de-stress. And the fifth one is sleep. I don't think we even finished talking about it, but sleep is crucial.
Oh, yes.
Repair. So those 5 things, focus on those. And by the way, sleep, because we didn't get into it. Aren't you sweet, William? Just a sweetheart. Thank you so much.
Everything that she has said is and will continue to be incorporated in my life. God bless this beautiful lady. Precious.
Really, really sweet. Yeah. Try to take the screens away from you an hour before, the phones or the iPads and all that. And you can actually get glasses that are blue screen glasses that they take out the blue, the kinds of things that jazz up all your brains. And I could go into that, but I'm not going to. I think you get it. And then you can't sleep or they wake you up in the middle of the night. Not cool. Okay.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ginger, this has been so great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So you all know where you can find Ginger if you want more of this beautiful redhead, then you know where you can go to find her. Oh, hey, Johnny D. Johnny D said diet, hydration, exercise, de-stress, and sleep. Thank you, Johnny. John is doing for me what he does for his wife on her podcast. He repeats. I love it. Thank you.
Very
And
nice.
so I really appreciate all of you boss talkers who came on here with us tonight. It is always good to have you. And so we want to see you again. Who's that? Lucien. Lucien, where did my water go? Uh-oh. Oh, here it is. Mr. Well Connected himself. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, darling. And like I said, we might need to get some more over here because I got to double it up. Double it up. Oh, everybody's chiming in. Eat a healthy Mediterranean diet, exercise, hydrate, de-stress, and sleep. I love it. I love it. I do. You're so very welcome, darling. So once again, Boss Talkers, it is Wednesday. And next week on Wednesday, you know where to find me at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Mountain time, 8 o'clock Central time, and 9 o'clock on the East Coast. It is your girl, Sean LeRae. And y'all know I love you. But you know what I want you to do? That is live love. So we'll see you next week. Shalom, y'all.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you. Ginger, you can hold on a minute.
Okay.
We'll see y'all.